In today's video, I want to talk about what's sitting right now on my desk and why. Before everything else, let's move on to the first thing, which is this one. This is a remote for my Xiaomi monitor light, and this makes everything a bit more brighter. So let's move from the left side to the right side. The first thing that I have on my desk is this Blue Yeti mic, which is connected via this arm to an arm which is holding my light, and the wire goes back in my Mac. So if we go behind it, there's a case for a ND filter or UV filter instead. There's a bill sitting on my desk which is for my BYD service receipt, which I should move. And then I'll come back to this case later. Let's put it aside for now. By the way, that case is the most exciting thing I've ever unboxed, used, or ever reviewed on any channel. So moving on. Then if we look at this cable, this is a HDMI to USB-C cable that helps me connect my screen to a USB-C device like my office laptop. But before coming to that, let's move from the left side again. This is a Ulanzi light, which is pretty cool because it does have a charging feature as well as it does have a magnetic mount. So all this part is magnetic, and I believe not all this part, like this end as well as this end is, although this is not magnetic. But let's find something which is. There you go. So as you can see, I can easily attach that light over there. Another thing which is sitting on my desk, this is a remote, since both my monitors are connected to the same remote. So if I use this, so if they're both hooked to the main monitor or one system, it's easy for me to turn them on or off just by one remote. And that's the reason of this remote being here. Then we move ahead. This is not a permanent resident on my desk. I just took it off from my lens, which is this one. That's not permanent as well. It's sitting here because I was doing a bit of research and I used them, but that's one of the things which I use quite often. So that would be either on my desk or in my pocket. Moving on to the other side, which is this one. This is a hard drive SSD directly plugged into my Mac. And as you might be able to read it here, it's a portable SSD. I believe it's from Samsung. It's called T5 Evo. And it's pretty good for what it is. It's fast enough for me to edit all the video that I've shot. I'm actually trying to refine it. I've got a lot of repository of a lot of videos from my Tesla channel as well as this one. And I just need to clean up my repository. So this would help me do that. Then moving on, we have a double sandwich of Mac devices or Apple devices. This is an iPad 11-inch, which was covering my Mac Studio. This Mac Studio I just bought a couple of weeks back. I sold my MacBook Pro to replace it, but this is not the most exciting part which I've done in the last couple of weeks. So moving on to the other things, the Mac Studio is a fantastic device. This is a M2 Max. It's not the latest one, but this is doing a fantastic job nonetheless. I've replaced my Mac Mini M4 and my M3 MacBook Pro with this device, and one more device which I'm going to show later in the video. This is a dongle which I used to use for connecting my monitor, but right now I've just hooked both my Logitech mice as well as keyboard dongles to this one, and it allows me to plug in the keyboard as well as mouse to my office laptop, which is the next thing, which is sitting here, which usually wouldn't sit here. It's in my office bag most of the time, but I was working from home, so let's move that since it's not a big part of my normal desk setup. Then this is a Stream Deck. Pretty useful device because I've set it up to do multiple things, including turning on my light. And I can reduce the brightness of that light as well as increase it. The Stream Deck is a nice and fantastic device, mainly used for people who use this to stream or maybe Twitch or whatever, where they need to switch between different modes of camera, as well as do a lot of functions quickly. So you don't have to go look for your keyboard. You can assign these keys. I believe they are 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so 15 keys. You can assign it to various profiles to do various actions, and it could be a quick way to do a lot of things. The next thing which I have on my desk is my trusty Sony. It's not a tripod, it's like a shooting grip, that's what they call it. So it does have a lot of functionality built in, including taking a photo, starting a recording. It can be connected to your device using a phone. What am I saying? It can be connected to your camera using Bluetooth, but it can only be connected to your one of the cameras. It cannot be connected simultaneously devices at the same time, so this is good. And currently it's, I think, linked to my A7C2, but I've used the Ulanzi Falcam quick mount system on this, and most of the cameras that I use do have that quick mount underneath, which allows me to quickly hook up a camera on this one. And this is another thing which I recently bought, which is like a Ulanzi, I think it's a desk mount for desk arm for getting the top head videos. So this is pretty good. This is my ZV-E10 Mark 1 sitting on here. Then I do have a little screen over here, which people use it as teleprompter, but I use it as another screen for casting when I'm editing. I use the screen to cast my entire timeline, and that's how I've been using it. And then moving to the right, we have a mat, which makes the contrast look better, especially for unboxings. I've got my Logitech MX keys, mice, as well as the keyboard. Then this I already discussed. This is a remote for my Xiaomi Lite. These are DJI Mic Minis, and this is a very nice product. This is one of the things which I would like to use more, but since I'm using my camera mostly indoors, I don't need to do a lot of what do you call them, wireless mic stuff. I would definitely like to use this device more, which means I want to shoot more outside in an environment where I need wireless mic. But yeah, for now, I think this is sitting on my desk as a go-to ready device. Moving on towards the right, we have my trusty DJI Pocket 3. And this one, let's move the iPad back on the Mac Studio. This one is also a mic that comes in the creator kit. This is one of the cameras which I recommend if someone's just starting a new venture. This is the camera you should get to begin with. And currently I do have a magnetic case on it as well. This base plate is magnetic, which means, again, we can hook it up like that. I literally figured it out today that I can hook up my magnetic devices on that monitor clamp or monitor stand. Like, I didn't realize that that's an option before today, so that's good. I can use some dynamic shots using that. Then moving on, this is this monitor stand. I recently picked up these monitors. They were used, but very good condition. The stand came with them is something which is nice because this allows these monitors to move without moving the stand, which is a nice addition because these Samsung monitors usually don't move. And then comes the Elgato Keylight Air, which is that one. I believe that was the first light which I've got, and I'll show you how that performs, right? So let me switch off all the rest of the lights, and this is the only light which is switched on, and that's something which you can expect from it. Let me brighten the scene a bit. Too much. Let me fix it a bit more. Yeah. So yeah, you can, I think you can you can live with it. It's not the worst light. It just sits there. It's diffused enough. It's not too bright. But I do have another light which is Xeon. It's a multicolored light which I used to use a lot. But right now I'm trying to focus more on the art of production and pushing the stuff out rather than just trying to get the best footage out there, which, trust me, wouldn't be something which I want, but given the amount of time as well as the amount of views I'm getting on this channel, I think for me to focus on pushing the content more is currently like the ideal scenario, but I would like to change that in future where I'm focusing on creating each and every shot and composition well thought after and not just afterthought or trying to rush things like anything which I've done in past couple of weeks. But yeah, moving on. This is a Sony XM5 earphones or headphones. They're pretty good. I use them for mostly for office stuff. Otherwise, I use my AirPods. This is a baby monitor where I not track. Like that's the thing, right? Like when you're trying to make yourself a business or a YouTube channel, you do things which are a bit of a different approach from your normal life. Like currently, it's what's the time? It's 11:15. And ideally, I should be asleep by now because I do have work tomorrow. I'm working from office tomorrow. And this baby monitor is something which is part of my life. I'm trying to manage my life along with YouTube. So usually that's my routine. If I'm doing some editing or doing anything, I do have this always sitting on my desk just to make sure my baby's sleeping fine. And if he needs me, then at least I would know when to rush. A sanitizer as well as a USB device which I've copied some stuff over. I've got a couple of coasters for any drinks that I'm having, and that brings me to basically whatever you can see on my desk. Almost forgot about the best part that we moved inside over there, and it's actually big enough for me to do it in the next video. So I'll give you a glimpse of what it is, right? I think you might have guessed it already, but if not, then let's put it on my desk and let's reveal it. It's a Apple Vision Pro. In my next couple of videos, I'll tell you why, how, and what I think about my Apple Vision Pro. And again, if you've been following my channel, you might know that I'm not stingy. I'm not trying to. It's just that I'm not trying to waste money. So I bought this as well as a lot of other things which I've shown on my channel, used off marketplace and other means. But trust me when I say it, this device, you should try it out as soon as you can at any nearest Apple store if they have access or if they're allowing demos, because this would change your perception of what technology can deliver or do right now in 2025. Like there's no way I can explain it in words, but I'll try in my next videos. But yeah, that's the most exciting thing which I have, and that's actually one of the reasons where I was not publishing or pushing these videos, because I was busy trying to make sense of my purchase and try not to have the buyer's regret. You know, where you buy something and you think you're not going to use it and it's not for you, you just wasted the money. It's a lot of money if you're buying Apple Vision Pro like new from the store. I wish I was that rich that I won't have to think about spending money when, comes to things like Apple Vision Pro, because just to give you a context, this device right now in Australia is around $6,000, which is quite a lot of money. Like people can buy cars cheaper than that. But I didn't spend that much money, I wouldn't. And that's the good part. Like if I want to sell it, I would be able to sell it for similar price, if not get some money out of it. But yeah, that's a video for another day. For this one, that's my office setup. That's the most exciting thing, and this is my current setup. I've sold my MacBook Pro as well as my Mac Mini to get a studio. For portability, I do have a what do you call them, iPad 11-inch, and for ultimate fun as well as content consumption, I do have my Apple Vision Pro.